Chapter 1, Mishnah 3. There are two types of mitzoras, a confirmed mitzora and a confined mitzora. A confirmed mitzora is a person whose nega is one of the shades of white we learned about above, and it has certain additional signs of tuma. These signs include one of the following. Two white hairs appear in the nega, or the nega has a patch of healthy skin called Mishna inside it, or the nega spread and is larger than it was originally. If a person has a nega with one of these signs, he shows it to a Kohen, and the Kohen confirms him as a mitzora. The signs by themselves do not confirm tuma. The Kohen must see the nega with the sign in it and declare the person tameh. The person is then subject to the laws of tuma of a mitzora. A confined mitzora, on the other hand, is a person whose nega does not have a sign of tuma, and thus his tuma is not confirmed. Instead, the Kohen confines him to his house for a week. And at the end of the week, he examines the nega to see if it developed a sign of tuma. If the nega has a sign of tuma, the Kohen declares the person a confirmed mitzora. If there is still no sign of tuma, the Kohen confines him for another week and then examines the nega again. If he sees that the nega has developed a sign of tuma, he confirms the person as a mitzora. But if he does not see such signs, he declares the person tahor. However, he remains tahor only as long as the nega does not display signs of tuma. But if signs of tuma appear in the nega at some later point, he again shows the nega to a Kohen, and the Kohen declares him a confirmed mitzora. The Mishnah will now teach that the different shades of white we learned about above combine in regard to the different types of mitzoras as well as to make a mitzora tahor. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. These four colors, i.e. the four shades of white listed in Mishnah 1, combine with each other with regard to declaring a mitzora tahor, to declaring a person a confirmed mitzora, or to declaring a person a confined mitzora. The Mishnah explains how the colors combine to make someone a confined mitzora. They combine to confine a person whose nega remained the same at the end of the first week of confinement and did not develop any signs of tuma. Even if the nega was originally one shade of white that was the size of a gris, the minimum size of saras, and the Kohen confined the person for a week, and at the end of that week, half the nega changed to a different shade of white, and it still has no signs of tuma, the Kohen confines the person for another week. We do not treat this as two Negaim that are each half the size of a gris. Rather, both colors combine to form one large nega the size of a gris. The Mishnah explains how the colors combine to purify a mitzora. Here the Mishnah does not discuss a nega that has two colors, but a nega that changed from one color to another. They combine to declare tahor someone who has a nega that remained the same at the end of the second week of confinement. That is, if the nega did not develop any signs of tuma at the end of the second week of confinement, but changed to a different shade of white, we consider the new color a continuation of the old nega. Therefore, it is like any other nega that did not develop signs of tuma at the end of the second week, and the person is declared tahor. The Mishnah explains how the colors combine to declare someone a confirmed mitzora. There are several ways in which this can happen. They combine to confirm as a mitzora a person whose nega developed a patch of healthy skin or two white hairs. That is, if a nega the size of a gris is made up of two colors and has a patch of healthy skin inside it, or two white hairs inside it, the colors combine to form a full gris, and the person is considered a confirmed mitzora. This applies whether the healthy skin or white hair appeared in the beginning, when the Kohen first saw the nega, at the end of the first week of confinement, and at the end of the second week of confinement, or after the person was declared tahor. Another way in which the colors combine to confirm someone as a mitzora. Also, the different colors combine to confirm as a mitzora a person whose nega has spread. That is, if the nega itself is one color, and the part that spread is a different color, we consider both colors to be part of the same nega. Thus, the nega is considered to have spread, and the person is a confirmed mitzora. This applies whether the spreading occurred at the end of the first week, at the end of the second week, or after the person was declared tahor. The Mishnah lists yet another way in which the colors combine to confirm someone as a mitzora or to purify a mitzora. The rule is that if someone had a nega and was declared tahor, for example, he was confined for 2 weeks, and the nega had no signs of tuma, and then the nega spread to his entire body, he becomes a confirmed Mitzorah. However, if someone was a confined or confirmed Mitzorah, and the nega then spread to his entire body, he becomes Tahor. The Mishnah will discuss cases where a nega spread to the entire body but was made up of 2 shades of white. It first discusses the case where it makes a person a confirmed Mitzorah. The different shades of white combine to confirm as a Mitzorah a person whose entire body turned white after he was declared Tahor from a previous nega. That is, if the person had a nega and was declared Tahor, and then the nega spread to his entire body, but the part that spread was a different color white than the original nega, the person becomes a confirmed Mitzorah. This is because we consider the part that spread to be part of the original nega. And when a nega that was declared Tahor spreads to the entire body, the person is a confirmed Mitzorah. The Mishnah now gives the case where the nega spreading to the entire body purifies the Mitzorah. The colors also combine to declare Tahor a person who turned completely white after being confirmed as a Mitzorah because of a nega, or after being confined because of a nega. That is, if the person had been confirmed as a Mitzorah, and then his nega spread to his entire body, but the color of the expanded part was different than the original nega, he becomes Tahor. Similarly, if he had been confined because of a nega, and then the nega spread to his entire body, he becomes Tahor even if the expansion is a different color than the original nega. This is again because we consider the expansion to be part of the original nega. And when the nega of a confirmed or confined Mitzorah spreads to his entire body, he becomes Tahor. The Mishnah concludes with a general statement regarding the colors of saras of the skin. These shades of white, i.e. the 4 shades of white listed in Mishnah 1, as well as the mixed color version of these whites listed in Mishnah 2, are the colors of Negaim upon which all Negaim of the skin depend. That is, all Negaim of the skin must be one of these colors in order to be considered saras.